Hi everyone, this is Sean, and today I'm going to be going over how to use Bookshare to read books and customize the text as well as the speech. So today I'm using a student account because I am currently a sponsor, so I can help students download books, but I do not have my own account because Bookshare is free for students with learning disabilities, including dyslexia. So once I have downloaded a book for the student, they simply go to My Bookshare, which takes you to this screen, and then you can see the books that are here. So what we can do right here, we've got A Tale of Two Cities. There's a couple different formats. Daisy format is the one that we typically use, but you could also download an audio format. This is for Braille and EPUB, which you can open using iBooks or iTunes iBooks, and that will allow you to annotate the text as well, or you can open it as a Word document. But typically I suggest using the Daisy. Sometimes it also has pictures included, not just text. Next, we can also download the book if we wanted to. If we do not have Wi-Fi, if you're going to be reading in the car, you may want to download it onto your computer so you can read it. Other than that, you can click on Read Now, and that is going to open up the web reader. So that just takes a minute to load up the book. So this is the Beeline reader. We can say no thanks to this. I'll go over that later. The first page is going to be copyright notices and all of that. So if we click on this, this will give us our table of contents, and we can skip to chapter 1 by clicking on that. And here we are at chapter 1. So right now this should be most of chapter 1. Typically these are divided into chapters. Sometimes they do not divide that evenly though. So these arrows will navigate you to the next section. So going into the settings, let's see how to customize everything. You have some options here. The font face is either default, as we have here, or the Open Dyslexic font. And that looks like this. So the words tend to be a bit more weighted towards the bottom, and that can help some people read better. So again, this is really just about what's most comfortable for you. Next, you can also change the font size. So if you want a little bit of a bigger font, you could try something like 18. Next, we have the text and background color. So right now it's on black and white. You could also do Arabian Night. So that inverts it. So for some people, this is a little easier on the eyes. Up here, you can also toggle it on and off. It's called night mode. So this is actually supposed to help when you're reading at night. Next, there's also Sands of Dune. So that's sort of a sandy brown color. So here's the Beeline reader, the bright one. And give that a second. So this has a gradient color to help with tracking. If that's a little too much, there's also a darker one. Sometimes it takes just a second to adjust. There it goes. There is for blues. And sometimes it seems like they don't always, oh, there it goes. It just takes a little bit of time before it adjusts. There they are, blues. We also have gray. So this is less color, and this will make the letters be a gray gradient. Again, you may just need to take a couple seconds before it adjusts. And then finally, the last option is the inverted gray scale. So here it's got the black background, but this honestly looks like it's pretty hard to read, so I would not suggest that. Oh, there it goes. That's actually a lot better. Okay, so let's for now just go back to black and white. And the next options that we can adjust would be the display format. So right now we have scrolling where we can scroll down with the text, but there's also single page, which looks like this. So we have one page at a time. There's no longer any scrolling. So to go to the next page, we just use these arrows, go from page to page. And then finally, for display format, we also have facing pages. And that looks like this, like it's in a book. And then we can also have the page numbers displayed too, so that if you need to follow along with where you are in a physical book, that helps to have those numbers as well. And finally, for the text, we also have the margins. So right now it's in the middle, but we could also increase the margins so that there's less words per page, or we could narrow the margins, giving more words per page. So typically somewhere in the middle usually works, but there's no right answer. It really is what is best for your own eyes, your own comfortability while reading. The next is going to be the speech rate. So we can slow it down or speed it up depending on how fast we're able to comprehend. Also depending on what kind of things we're reading. If we're reading a story or narrative, we may be able to listen to it a little faster than we may something that's a bit more research-based or scientific. Then we also have the voice. Right now it's on Alex, but there are also a lot of other options. Some of these are a little gimmicky. They have a bad news one that sounds sad, a little bells, bubbles. So some of these are different languages and different accents. So I would suggest you could either go through this or do a Google search and find which one you like the best. Typically, I go with Samantha. I find she's a little less robotic than Alex is. And then just save when you're done. And in order for it to start reading, we're going to just go ahead and click on this speech bubble.
I say a horse at a gallop. Tom, returned the guard, leaving his hold of the door, and mounting nimbly to his place. Gentlemen, in the king's name, all of you.
And there it is. It's not quite like someone else reading to you, but the ability to digitize this text and read it this way allows Bookshare to have millions of books available in their library, which makes this extremely accessible right to you on the computer. It also allows you to read visually as well as listen audibly, so that you're gaining information two ways using the visual and audio channel, which should help with comprehending and retaining the information in the text. So finally, there's also, we can maximize it, get a little bit bigger, get the other stuff out of the way, and if we want to make this toolbar disappear, we can also click on that. And that is pretty much all the ways to customize Bookshare. So again, please let me know if you have any questions, and happy reading.